Hello all, welcome to Java Talent. So in this today tutorial, we are going to learn Spring AI reference. Basically, it is the ChatGPT program in which we are just going to learn like how we can use Spring AI to use any OpenAI or ChatGPT platform. So Spring AI basically, if you know that like what is Spring AI? So Spring AI offers the abstractions that serve as the foundation of the developing AI applications. So these abstractions have multiple implementation, enabling easy component swapping with minimum code change, and then for example, like Spring AI introduces the client interface, which is the implementation of OpenAI and Azure OpenAI basically. So in this Spring AI reference, actually we are going to use that much about like how we can use the Spring based applications and related concepts. So in this example, we are just going to use the prompt. So basically in generative AI prompt, basically it is refers to that input provided to a language model to generate the response or output. So basically it acts as the starting point of the query that we are going to use to generate the content. So it can be single sentence, it can be a paragraph, or it can be even a multi-line response. So you can just go through this one guide, like it will help us to the AI model and then all products specific outputs. So what is the prompt template? So basically prompt templates refers the predefined or reusable structures for the prompt generation AI. So these templates provide a standardized format or set of instructions that uses the interaction of the languages, like how these templates can be include the placeholders or slots where we can use to insert our actual content for their specific task. So chat client, what is the chat client in Spring AI? So chat client is the specific functional interface. So basically it is the functional interface. You can just explore what is the functional interface more in deep, and if time permits I will create a one tutorial on that basically. So simplifies the interaction with the AI model, so it helps to connect with the different AI models that might be a different ways of working. So this is the interface currently works with the text input and output only. So but yeah, we should expect more types in the future. So maybe for now it is just a text input and output. So basically keep in mind that some classes or interfaces might change in the later stages, like you know that like every after a few months that Spring or any framework, it is going to be expand, and then they will be releasing a new version of the upcoming means predefined predecessors fixes and then enhancement they are doing incrementally, so that you can just expect it. And chat response, so basically this model will delivers back, and each generation instance has one of the possibility outputs from the single prompt. So chat response, this is the class structure like this one. So public class, this is the final method, one private final method is there, so that will be generation methods. And there is the multiple method that I have not used here. So how you can use our application Spring AI module in your applications. Okay, so below are the straightforward steps, so you can just see that like the 4 steps I have mentioned here. So first is like create the project, simple Spring project. If already existing your applications, you can use any one of the IDE and add a dependency in order to use the features of the Spring AI. Add an entry point for the open AI key value in your application context. So there is the open AI key value that we have to use for our Spring applications, and that we have to put it into our application.xml file or application.yaml file, whatever the build tool you are using basically on depend on that one. So create a REST controller and requires one method. I'm just going to use one REST controller, and then I'm just going to add one method, simple method. So this is the OpenAI dependency that we have to add into our main project. So this dependency you can add like one startup, one second, yep, one starter, and then this is the snapshots basically. So how to get an OpenAI secret? So there is the one website, like visit openai.com, and there is you have to create your account if you not have any account previously. So even if you can use the ChatGPT account as well, because both the credentials may work for any one of that. So if you click on the OpenAI icon and go to the API's keys, so there you will find the create a new secret key. That secret key we will use into our applications to communicate our application to this OpenAI API. So if you create on the new secret key link, it will be open a form that you have to create a secret key. Then you can just click on the create a secret key. You may ask to solve some puzzle, like you have to verify like human being. So in order to verify that you are a human, you need to solve that puzzle, and then that key will be generated, which that we can copy from there, and then we can just paste into in our application.properties file by providing the key as spring.ai.openai.api-key. So this is we have to use in our applications. So let's go and just create one simple application. So I will let you know that what are the dependency you have to use in your project. So basically, like where I'm using this one, you can just go through it. So you need to create one project, a Spring. You can use the Spring Initializers tool or by using directly from the ID. Okay. So if you see that I have used the existing repository, may not be having that compatibility. That's why you can use this below repositories for your application, because I am using this snapshots version. So that it may be it will be having the latest version. You can just use the any one of the version from the OpenAI dependency, and then you can create your things. And I've already mentioned that OpenAI secret key, so I can show you the website. Like this is the API key. Like if you see, this is the API keys. There you can just find out that API keys, and then this is the secret key what I have generated for my case. You need to create on this create new secret key, and this secret key here, if you see, just that needs to be copied here, and then you can use that in your applications. Okay. So once you got your secret key, let's start creating one Spring Boot application. So what are the starter you have to add? Like simple Spring Web or Spring Boot dev tools. That two dependency you need to add. I can show you through the pom.xml file because I have already created this project for you, and I will go through this one. So this one is starter web dependency you need to add, and then Spring Boot dev tools. Basically this dev tools you need to add. So this is the Spring AI dependency what I have added. And if you see that for actually I'm using the snapshot version, so there is some dependent repository you need to add it. So that's why I've added this Spring repositories here. So this is the pattern you need to follow as well. So try to make the same patterns for now. If there is any changes, or if you are using a different version of this AI dependency, you need to use that one. Okay, so this dependency we need to add basically, and then I told you that like the OpenAI key secret that you have generated, that you need to add in your application dot properties file. So if you go to the resources, you can find this application dot properties file, and I'm just for the security reason I am not pasted here the value actually that what I have for my secret key. But if you have generated your secret key from this open API, that you can just paste it here, like it will be something like that, like this code. And if you go to, actually I have added the server port because 8080 is using for some other application in my laptop, so that you can use any server port, or if you not use, it will be by default it will open for 8080 basically. So now I have to create one RESTful controller. Nothing I have created. This is simple our main applications, and then I have added this spring.properties file. Now if you can just ignore for this controller, second controller, I will let you know. I have added two more endpoint to demonstrating more point. So first let me come through this controller. So I have created one REST controller here for your reference, and I have given that URI mapping URI, if you know that, like request mapping slash prompt, and private funnel chat client. I have to create the object of the chat client, and this is the parameters constructor, you know that, like that constructor I have to fulfill, and then this method I have created, get mapping method. So this is simple a get method, and I'm using the hello. So if you see that I have created one method test AI prompt, and in this method if you see, like I have used this string prompt and this message hello, what is this Spring Boot? So this is my questions, and I'm just returning this chat client dot call prompt. So this prompt I'm just returning here. So if you see, this prompt will go and check whether the chat client has what is the response for these questions, what is a Spring Boot, and it will give me the response on the running applications. So this is a simple endpoint. slash prompt and then slash hello. I have used that application dot properties file server dot port at 08081. So I need to hit this endpoint. Okay, so let me run this application and then I have hit this endpoint to see the expected result. So my question is, what I have mentioned here is, what is Spring Boot? Hello, what is Spring Boot? So it will give me an answer from the ChatGPT tools, OpenAI. So let me run this applications. You can run through Java application or run as a Spring Boot application, anyone you want, you can use this. So once you run the application, see your application is my application is running on 8081 with no context path because I have not given any context path. So I have to hit the endpoint 8080 slash prompt slash hello. So let me open this one. So actually earlier I have tested it. So let me hit again in front of you. So local host 8081 and prompt slash hello. Let me hit this endpoint. What I will getting, let's see. So it will give me the response what is a Spring Boot. In respect of that Spring Boot, it will give me the what is a Spring Boot. So if you see here, Spring Boot is an open source Java framework that is used to create a standalone production grade. This response we are getting from the ChatGPT tool, not from our applications, because I have not written any code for this one. Okay, so this response I am getting from the OpenAI API, so which is giving me this response. So if you want to verify that, you know that like with the same content, I can go to this one ChatGPT, and if you type here the message like what is Spring Boot, so it will give you the response. Basically same response we have to get it from that application. See, a Spring Boot is an open source Java based framework designed to simplify the process. So this is basically the open AI that which we are including into our applications. So this is the one of the controller I have used it. So now if you want to include that some of the placeholder and you want to replace that placeholder with the actual value. So for example, let's create the another, go to the another controller. See my second controller, I have created the second controller with request mapping prompt 2. Okay, nothing else I have added, same controller you can use, no problem. And I have created the object of chat client and then the same parameterized controller. And then if you go here, I have given one get endpoint. So means get endpoint, get API I have given for this one. So if you see that learn topic, so I have given this topic as a placeholder. So that topic I will be going to replace with the path variable. So that path variable I am using here in this method, that will give me the get topic. So this topic is the placeholder in the prompt. So that prompt template I am just going to use as an object, and this in this prompt template I have given, I just started learning Spring. Can you please provide me the fundamentals of topic? That topic. To get started, please provide me short and concise details in simple language. So this will give me the topic based, means that replace placeholder, whatever the topic. For example, if I am going to give the topic as Spring Core, it will give me the Spring Core details. And if I am going to use Spring Data JPA or any other module, so that module if you provide to that particular topic in the URL, it will give you the response based on this message. So I have given this, I have just started learning this Spring, can you please provide me the fundamentals of whatever the topic to get started. Okay, so we will see the result, and I can just show you the code. You can just grab this full code. So if you see here, like this is the one get endpoint I have created, and if you know that like there is the another get endpoint I have created for this one. So this is basically I have taken as get language and the year. So I just wanted to grab the language which is the top programming language in the year. So if I am going to give 2021 and I have given this question as like what is the programming language, top programming language for that particular 2020 year. So like this you can just give that placeholder. So here I have not used this format placeholder for now. And if you see that like from template object and then template dot, I'm just adding the details to that particular template dot add year, template dot add format, and template dot set output parser. So this is the parcel that will be parse the template, the value to the template, and I am printing this to the console. What is the format I have just got it, and then prompt is equal to temp dot create. It will create the prompt, and then chat response, it will create the chat response client by passing that particular prompt to that call. And then the text, what is the text? It will be give me that text. I'm just printing and returning back to the parser. So let me run again same application once again, and then I will let you know this endpoint, how this endpoint will be going to check and what are result we are just getting. So let me run this application once again. So let's start. Okay, so my application is running on 8081, and now my endpoint is for this controller is I have given as prompt 2. So let me go there, localhost prompt 2 slash, what I have given for the first controller, I have given that as learn topic. So learn slash, for example, let me give the spring core. So if I will give the spring core, it will give me the question, like it will prompt these questions to the particular AI. I just started learning a spring. Can you provide me the fundamentals of a spring core? So it will give me the response. Let's see. It is taking the response. Okay. So it is saying that sure. Here are the fundamentals of a Spring Core in simple language. First, IOC. Second, follow the principle of IOC, means this is details for the IOC. Then dependency injection. Then third, beans, how it will be created application context. Then bin factory. Then configuration. Then AOP, and then container, and etc. So if you want to learn for different language, for example, let me put it as Spring Data JPA. So it should give the good details about the Spring Data JPA. Let's see what it is giving to me. It will be finding the solutions for you. So it will be checking that value, and then the response will be come back. Let's see. Spring Data JPA as part of the Spring framework that simplifies the process of working with the relational database in your application, that blah 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 entity and at that entity annotation, means as much as details that is finding from the Spring AI, that means Spring JPA AI, and then the ChatGPT you can say. So that result we can able to grab into our application. Okay, so this second one, what controller I have given, that particular language for that particular year. So which language is basically that top programming language for that particular given year. So let's see, hit that endpoint, localhost 8080 prompt 2, and then get language for that particular, let me see, 2007. Okay, so for 2007, which language is popular? It will give you the basically the result in the JSON format, because I have used that here. If you see format, so parser.get format, this format will be defined into the JSON content, and it will populate the response back to you. So see, 2007 with 21%, the Java language was top. Okay, so let's see for other year. 2017, let's see which language was popular. So JavaScript was popular on that time. And then if you see 23, Python. In 23, Python was topmost popular language with the 30%. So because I have implemented this one, you might see the message like raw message, it should be this one or it should be passed one. So it will come to the JSON format only, due to that particular formatting stuff. So this is the things that what I want to show you in the today's tutorial. So yeah, please subscribe my channel, like my videos, and go with the content. Yep, thank you so much.